All right. Hello, hello, hello. You guys should be able to hear me. I can see it moving. I don't know whether or not you can hear me or not, but it looks like it's good. Actually, it's a little bit low. Let me raise it just a little bit. Right there should be good. I think that's a little bit better. I tried to listen to the recording yesterday and to see what you guys meant by like the fuller sound or whatever, and I figured it out. I was like, aha, got it. All right. Um, oh, so tired. I actually slept late today. I had a men's game last night. Um, and like this was like a late morning for me. I was like, oh, so I'm like, of course, like the late morning, I'm running behind for all the stuff I normally do. So we'll go ahead and do it. Big men's double goal. I keep getting all these like updates. So why is it? Okay, sorry. Um, my phone and all my things all popped up one time. Um, all right. Anyway, so last 24 hours, what's happened? We had FOMC, the same kind of wet noodle speech that we got every time. We're seeing substantial inflation, yada yada yada. And then obviously today the advanced GDP numbers on unemployment claims, was also not helpful. You're seeing basically it's dollar weakness. Literally, that's all it is. That's the only. That's I mean, euro pound is flat. Two pips in 24 hours, so there's nada right there. Even the pound yen, it's not even so much a yen play. Like the overall stock indices really haven't done much. Euro dollar down big or up big. Pound dollar up 100. That's big, right? Um, Dollar yen down 35, not bad. It's kind of retracing a little bit. Dollar Swiss still down 81, even though the last hour has been retracing. Dollar CAD down 115, even though the last hour has been retracing. Aussie dollar, um, again up, but retracing, and it makes sense. The U.S. U.S. traders are coming online. We're getting the profit taking from the European session, so it's doing everything it's supposed to be doing. So there's been some good opportunity. The advanced GDP price index, it's funny. There's no inflation, but yeah, it's six, even higher than expected before. They've revised the last one, so again, inflation is accelerating. I think is the better word for it. Um, Advanced GDP only came at 6.5. Unemployment claims came in at 400. So it's kind of one of those. I guess it depends on what data you're looking at for what statement, but I still feel like the statements have not changed whatsoever, and there's just not a lot in there of true substance, right? The rest of the day is pretty much flat. Tomorrow morning, we have some interesting data. We have another one of the core PCE price indexes. Again, shown to be higher. Again, because again, that's what transitory means. Keep adding more and more and more and more. But we do have European Germany GDP quarter over quarter. Um, I think, I mean, again, the issues they had with the floods, I'm very curious to see if this one is able to come through with a beat. I mean, again, GDP shouldn't be as affected, but it still may be, right? So that could definitely send the euro kind of coming back down a little bit, as well as the CAD. I mean, CAD's getting major strength right now. I mean, versus the dollar. I mean, it's down 115 is a big move to the downside. Question is again, this GDP number month over month is looking. I mean, it's forecast to be negative zero point 0.3. Question is, does that set us up for a nice little spin tomorrow? Problem with trading the dollar CAD tomorrow is going to be the fact that we have the dollar counterbalancing at the same exact time. So could it be, could this literally be the launching point? GDP coming in as a negative number, the PCE being even more positive. The question is, if it is positive, is it going to really matter? Right? I mean, typically, if you see a number like that that's showing a lot of inflation, that tends to be strong for the dollar because they're going to do something. At this point, I think the Fed has proven that they're not going to do anything. So I don't know. After 122 down, I definitely think we should be looking to get long dollar CAD. I don't know. Maybe that's where we finally see the transitory, but I don't know. Maybe GDP for CAD looks awesome and the PCE is bad. And maybe this continues for one more day, but I don't know. 120 is a lot. Excuse me. It's over one daily ATR. So it should be one of those areas where we're looking for a retracement. And like I said, after the whip that we've seen, I think the dollar will probably have some strength creeping back in, just from sellers getting, taking profit, and then other people trying to, grab bottoms of it. So I think that's gonna be decent. I think 8:30 tomorrow morning will be the trade of the morning, and then we'll get that kind of morning trend and maybe a reversal. But Chicago PMI revised consumer sentiment tomorrow, I don't think are going to be as big. I will say, I mean, if the PCE goes higher and these are both negative, it could have an effect on the indices, right? Um, Absolutely could be involved, right? Absolutely can be involved there. So, yeah, we'll see. But that's today and tomorrow. But yeah, I mean, 115, 119. I mean, that's just dollar just getting hammered. As far as the big news, I mean, a lot of it was again, a lot of it was all the this and this, all from basically Powell's speech. Let's see what do we got here. Germany is expecting their inflation to be plus 3.8%, based on the reports. Consumer prices are expected to rise another almost percent in June. And if I talk, it's temporarily reducing the account for the coronavirus. Okay, yeah. So again, we're seeing more inflation there. Chinese officials are trying to calm the markets. Also snaps the key barrier. Australian house prices soar at unsustainable rate. They said that in Canada as well, and they're still going. Croatia meets its euro commitments as planned. Yeah, nothing there. No, nothing else in here really. Oh wait, ore industry. Hold on. Escalates plan to crush. Oh, here we go. China escalates plans to crush Australian iron ore industry. Gotta love when they're being a good, global neighbor. The Austrian huge ore miners drove prices to record highs. We're gonna crush it. We're gonna crush it. And the United States will say, steel. We're gonna crush your steel industry. Gotta love it. It's like, China is calming their markets, but we're gonna crush our neighbors. It's lovely. Gotta love world peace. All right, so here's the Australian dollar. So we mentioned from yesterday, and again earlier in the week we had all three of these drawn here. We've had these three areas, and again this one 3 hits and broke. This one 3 hits and broke. Next one we've gotten down and literally right above it. And again we could have adjusted this one to actually capture it. We just had drawn this on there as kind of the 3 profit targets to the downside. But with the big spike down like that, that was a great entry. Actually, this is a 15 minute. Let me change it back to 30. There we go. Huge push up. Again, the profit target on this long should have been at 73.80. As you can see, it hit up and then kind of started the base and pulled back again. I think right now profit targets need to be adjusted on any of these shorts. And again, the 74.06, it's a level that we've been waiting for a while. I mean, if I bring it across to here, you guys can see where it's at. It's almost at its 1 to 3 right now. It will probably get down there a little bit more, but if anything, you should be trailing your stop on this one. You're at least your stop loss is at least the 1.5 to 1 at this point. You're definitely not losing money, but I think this one comes down, and in fact, we'll probably hit the 73.63. But it's been one that we've had sitting over here for a while. I mean, it's been there. Um, Interesting enough, again, this was we had this one hit, and again, this needed to be the profit target on the longs. The basing below and pull back again. It's funny. It hit it, it pulled back, it hit it again, and then kind of stabilized itself, right? Because remember, this green closed here, came back in again, and dropped. So technically, you have your 1, 2, and 3, and then came up and stabilized through. So again, it wouldn't have been as big of a reversal. It's only a 30-minute time frame zone. We want a big reversal up top. But again, this one pushing back down to the downside is pretty much. I mean, there's not much more we can do with it. I will say, if we are able to come down, this 63, I'm sorry, 73.63, although it's a target, I would say because of the way that it left this area here. Again, you could argue that this is a racetrack. It's got sufficient room to run back to the downside of about 44 pips. The reality is, has really anything changed? I mean, all their comments, yeah, were very, very weak, but Australia is not necessarily in the best scenario as well either. So if we come down and base, through this level here, again, there could be a potential short when it breaks through. We got another day worth of trading. That would be a short of what is it? 73.58. Uh-oh, Jinjin is in the hallway, and I was trying to say, I was like, oh god. Okay. Yeah, I don't know if you guys can hear her or not. She's not quite as loud as the birds, but yeah, she's quite unhappy. So she may have to walk in here in a sec. Melissa has a call at 10, so we will see. We may have the baby soon. Anyway, a base in here, 73.58. Look for a drop down, and again, we could bring this one potentially back down to the 73.16. And all it is just a momentum continuation based trade. That's it. Nothing crazier than that. But again, you should be short there right now from earlier in the week. Aussie yen, same kind of reverse, right? And funny, I'll bring this across, and you can see that same level once again holding. And again, here's the level up top. We didn't actually get to it. This one is a lot smaller. It didn't really have the FOMC effect. It would have been a proxy through the yen. And we're still talking about a level low, but we're at that same level, right? Yesterday morning we were sitting here, and all we did was we pulled up. FOMC time, we just came through, dropped back down again, came back up based, peeked our head out, grabbed these sellers, and came back, and we're in the same area again. So nothing's really changed in this one. Any of the yen pairs, we really didn't see much movement. So again, we'll continue with this one in the analysis that we have the 81.90 up top and the 80.54 on the downside. All right. Nothing else really do. Not really trending. I mean, top to bottom, if we were to grab that swing, it's about 50 pips, but I mean, what are you going to draw a zone from? Right? I mean, there's no real clean. It's a lot of wicks, whipping back and forth. We have this level, but again, this is not the best of levels up here at 81.40. It did all this base, and I'd like to push down, but it came back up, and it's been all this time in a base again, and kind of limped its way out. So, I mean, I guess aggressively, if you need to take one, sure, but I think 81.90 and 80.54 right now are kind of the two areas that we're looking for the most. Right? Nothing else is really clean here. Now, euro pound. We know that euro pound, we're just stuck. What I say we are 8 pips now, 8 pips in 24 hours, a little pound strength action in there. But really, we're just, I mean, we're literally going back and forth in a 15 pip channel, right? That's 17 pips, sorry, if I take the extreme top and bottom. 17 pip channel back and forth. There's not really enough there. We talked about that kind of Harry Potter that's pulled down, but again, not ideal. It spent so much time there, pulled up and dropped, and then kind of found those buyers, and came back up in same area again and dropped back down again. So, not a lot to do with this one. It's literally just moving sideways. There's not enough meat on this one right now. Again, if we wanted that, we were talking about if we could get down to this level, this would be a good reversal at the open. Nothing happened. I mean, we dropped down, pulled back up, and we're kind of at the same spot. So, yeah, really not much we can do with the euro pound, unfortunately. Going in late in the week, and I don't think there is some. Well, we know we have some news tomorrow, right? We know we have the European this news right here. Let me see. Non euro pound light. Yeah, so we do have a decent amount. It's all European based, so I don't think that the pound can really. I don't think the pound is at risk. I think it's more the euro at risk than anything else tomorrow. Um, and again, if we get, let's see, negative, negative. I like that two right there. That two is nice. Um, employment rate, preliminary. There's enough in here that two, one. This is the big one right here. I mean, between these two, that although the revision's going to suck, this is nice. That's decent. If we can get a little bit higher CPI on that one, the flash estimate is a little bit higher. That could bring European strength back in. Um, 17 down. Yeah, I would say again. Obviously, today the Open didn't do anything, but tomorrow morning, I think this is one to watch, and even maybe late tonight. If we watch this one late tonight, there's the European Open, but maybe even a little bit over here. If we can come down and start basing in this level, the the forecasted the forecasted news for tomorrow actually looks good for the euro. Again, we've had a week basically of nothing but pound strength. We could see some euro strength kind of trickle in here as well. I don't think this knockout's going to really come into too much of a play. It's a little bit far away, but there's a small risk level in here, and there may be something worth taking in there. It's only 6 pips, but I don't know. Here's the open. I would say look at this one tonight, see what we got. Um, if we can get long for some of that European data tomorrow, I think that'd be pretty decent. So we can play that one from there. But right now, sideways trend. Right. I mean, yesterday. Here's where we were yesterday. Right here, same exact spot. And then if we go back one day further, we were sitting right here. This is where it collapsed into. So really, 2 day. It's 2 days of movement, and it's 15 pips. So not worth our time trading. Euro yen. So euro yen. All right, so euro yen. We're looking for this one to pull up, and again, we talked about it dropping down from FOMC time frame. FOMC, as you can see, it did drop. Came into here from here down, right? So it gave us a very very quick drop, and then immediately an immediate pullback. It's very fast. It was only about 23 pips, and then we came up and started the base higher. So the 3006 kind of got chewed up. And again, this was a 1, a 2, and number 3 is where the news started. It dropped, and then obviously it broke through. So it's still basing there, but we're going to remove it to try to clean this one up. We had a level we were looking for a breakout here, and it snuck its head up at 630 and then peaked back and forth. So it looks like this one is not a good trade entry. It looks like this one will just be an area of interest that we will mark. Again, a level that is using for basing. Let's check that back to here. But the good news is we broke through that area. So we can remove that now. We'll extend this one across. We'll extend this across, and we do have one up top. Make sure there's nothing. Let's see. No, there's no good zones in here to pull from. So really, that's our next area looking for short. But let's see. Um, hmm. Yeah, unfortunately, there's not really a great level there. I was trying to see if there's another good, like a good long, right, for tomorrow. Because again, euro yen will be something to play in the overnight. Of course, this is all chopped back down again. There's not really a whole lot clean in there. Let me go to 4 hour. 4 hours not clean either. I don't really like a lot in there. Fix it real quick. Trying to see if the indicator had any levels that were. It's pulling this level here, so indicator is pulling that, which is okay. But I mean, when you look back, there's more there. It has that level, and then it's pulling this little level here, which is a level we already had marked off. I mean, we're in an uptrend setup. I like that idea. I think that one's great. It would have to come down. It's got to drop about 50 pips to come back down to this level. Again, that's where the indicator likes it. Hello, Jin Jin. Jin Jin, is this Daddy's ducky? Is this Daddy's rubber ducky? Just trying to bribe her to get in here. She's got 7 minutes. It's going to be interesting. But anyway, it's got 50 pips to drop to the downside. That's a lot of movement to prepare for good news tomorrow. Not to say that it can happen, but that's probably where we're looking. Let me see on the 4 hour. Actually, let me pull. One sec, guys. Let me see. Yeah, that's an extreme. So it's in an uptrend setup situation right now. That would actually be the end of the. Oh, here we go. Ginge is very unhappy, guys. Sorry about this. She'll be good in a second. It's probably a decent level to take it off of. It will change it, the uptrend setup situation. So just be a bit cautious with that level. But that's the best we got, and so we'd be looking for somewhat of a. Let's see. Was she very unhappy this morning? Right there. So that's what we'd be looking for. How big is it? It's 11, so it's fine. Um, there, and we need it to go to that range. Okay. There we go. All right, so there's your European Open for news tomorrow. Euro dollar. Again, euro dollar's ticking forward. You guys can see that here again. This is where I talked about this in Nadex. Again, your first profit target would have been sitting right around here, the 1834. Second one, and it chopped through. But you guys can see it hit it and started basing. So you assume it's going to break through, and it did. There was a Harry Potter trade here. If you wanted to take this one up, oops, down and up. Right. So next short that we're looking for is going to be up here in the 118.90 level. Um, Again, there was your this knockout survived, just FYI. So again, huge move to the top side. Again, definitely capture your profit in there, and this would have been one that you could have re-entered. And again, this was a European Open entry. So the European Open was right there. 3 o'clock candle is right there. So could you have gotten into that one? Absolutely, sure. If you're in the knockout, you're still rolling, right? Again, that knockout made it by 3 pips. We double checked it, and yeah, God, this is like the most horrible trolling. There we go. But again, up, base, pullback, boom, continuation. And thus far, it is up about 30 pips, right? Again, it needed to go. Here, I'll just throw another one on. Three. Actually, I mean, we're well over three. Three was right. Three was right there, right? All the way up is a 1 to 8.7. So we're well beyond where we need it to be. And in fact, I mean, if you wanted to trail your stop, you could have trailed it. You could be trailing it at this point, where it pulled back to. I mean, you could trail it to there. Helps when I can put that line. And that's still sitting at that's still 1 to 4, right? So you could have a 1 to 4 locked in at this point, um, with a continual push higher, right? So you're still good on that one. Yeah, but I wouldn't look for a rollover on this one until the 118.90. I kind of wanted to get up there and roll back down again because I do think this one will be a nice tradable pair tomorrow. Pound yen. So pound yen's having issues. We had an area short up here, and you can see it hit it and pulled back. It hit it and pulled back again. We can drop it down to probably 15 minute. Yeah, you can see it hit, pull back, hit, pull back, hit, pull back, hit, and then finally went through. So it's like, hey, we're doing this 4 thing. We're absolutely doing it, right? There was the 1, there was the 2, and there was the 3, and then it started to pull back out again, and then just decided to eat the level up. So, um, yeah, sometimes we're going to take them, and we knew that that was a smaller time frame level. So, 153 was the less aggressive entry we were looking for. 153.43, or I'm sorry, 153.46. At this point, I mean, this one, I mean, the 24-hour pip change on this one is 76, so it's decent, but I wouldn't say that this one is earth shattering. The level above there, I'm gonna actually let's bring this back to. I was like, wait, this is off a little bit, right there, Billy. Um, it's a level. I would say at this point, look for a rollover, kind of how we talked about in the euro pound. We've had nothing but a week of pound strength. There's no news to really kind of counterseat this one, so this would be more of a profit taking scenario going into a Friday, trying to clean its books before the weekend. Um, Again, I'd say short position from that level. Could we refine this? Oops. Could we refine this on a smaller time frame? Probably. Let's see. There's your 1 to 3. Um, let's see. Could we refine this one? Kinda. I'd probably let's see. How much is this? It's only 16. I mean, you could refine it a little bit, but I wouldn't go crazy with it. Maybe there, just because we have the wicks that this went off of. So I mean, we've had one touches, two touches. This is touch number three, right? And there's your 1 to 3 sitting right there. Okay, so not bad. And again, it's 10 o'clock right now, so we're kind of getting to that reversal time frame. So it may be worth something small today. You're a pound. All right, so this one had a knockout up top that got busted. This one made it. I don't know. We were talking about this yesterday. I mean, here was that level. We were sitting in that level for FOMC, and then had the immediate drop, and it dropped like 40 pips to the downside very very fast. Um, so again, you know, I guess we'd have to put it here and put it there because there was your level of risk. And your 1 to 3 is actually there. So this one didn't make the full 1 to 3, but you wouldn't have lost anything. I mean, you were what, 90% of the way there. So you would have had your stop loss move. But it was very, very fast. It was a big spike very quickly. So we can clear some of these off now. And again, we knew we had that weakness coming in. This zone again, you can see we based through it. Guess we don't need that one right now. Let me see. Yeah, we're sitting in a 4 hour right now. You guys can see I already had it marked off, but we're sitting in that one right now. I'm gonna try to refine it, but we're not gonna be able to. Those 3 wicks up top. Let's pull this one as well. Yeah, it's fine. Pull those across. All right. So let's see. This here. Love this racetrack. Been a while since we've been here. All right. So sitting in an area right now. This is a 4 hour level. It may take a while to kind of burn through this, if anything else. This is a 2 hour chart, so we're much, much higher than we typically are. But that's what we're looking at. Again, kind of going through that reversal time, very similar position to what we just saw in the euro yen, where we've pulled up. Will profit taking come in? Yeah. And again, kind of in two ways. One, shorting the dollar profit taking. Two, pound strength kind of profit taking. I'd like to see a little bit more of a base, and I'd like to see, again, just like I drew, is it on NQ? Which one? So YM maybe? Yeah. So this pattern, I'm looking for this. I wish I could just select all three of them, but anyway, I'm looking for a red, green, red for this one to kind of roll and kind of turn on us. Kind of the same thinking here. I'd like to see a red, a green pullback not as high, and then another red close. So I'd like to see a color change, kind of confirmation coming out of this one. Um, and I would say look for kind of profit taking in that level. Oops, nope, this one. Sitting right over here, the 139.05. Really just 139. It's about 70 pips back to the downside. So I think that's a pretty decent runner at this point down to there. Okay. And again, but I want to see the confirmation. I want to see the red, the green, and the red, at least on a 15 minute. Right now, this is on a 30, so we need a little bit more. Dollar CAD. So we were looking to be down here for FOMC. It did the exact opposite. It went right back up again, right? Um, there's your quick spike up and then your collapse through. So not much else to say about that one. That we had a level. I was really kind of hoping that from the open here, it was going to grind up and base and be peaking through the top to go long. Wasn't the case. It actually pulled back down again like it knew, and then literally went up to grab more sellers and headed the downside. So I am happy that we're finally out of this kind of channeling, right? We were here ever. Now we're also out of this bottom level too. So let's pull this one off. Let's take this off and let's get some decent levels for dollar CAD. Um, all right, so dollar CAD, let's see. We know we got a level sitting right there. Now this is one that we do have a Harry Potter set up on. We had this drawn from forever ago, right? So let's set up one here. But again, this was the last time we touched this level. It was a very, very fast spike in and a very, very strong candle out, and it's really just the first base. So it is definitely we can go either way with this one, right? So let's put it here. Let's talk about a break below, right? We have a Harry Potter there, but we also have kind of a nice little bounce. Let's see, how far do we have from that one? We have 36 to go. That may be a bit far. I don't know if we're gonna have enough time for that. Tomorrow morning at 8:30. Let me just sit down, please. Sit. Yeah, it's 8:30 tomorrow morning. Right there. So if we can get to that level right there for news tomorrow, again, I think that's going to be the big telltale sign of which direction we head in. At this point, it looks like the U.S. trader is finally the profit taking from shorting the dollar. It looks like it is in. It looks like that's where they're going to use for this. And again, don't necessarily have a clean confirmation turn, but I mean, there's the sellers, and yeah, could you have used that level? Yeah, you could have. Is it a great level? Not really, but again, session open, right? It's 9 o'clock session open to go long, so um, yeah, it's there unfortunately. I will say this is an interesting spot too. I wouldn't say that it's the most ideal scenario for a trade, but it is about 50 pips back up again. And again, we'll see how much movement we can have from now till tomorrow morning. That could be a level that we look for news tomorrow. It is in the middle of the curve. It's not really an extreme range. At this point, I think you got to be looking at 126.04 as an area where we're shorting. Again, sellers have stepped in and proven that they're here. I mean, it held the FOMC spike into it. So I think we need to watch that level. Obviously, again, if we can come down and we need a base, right? If we get a base through, then we can look for, kind of a push down. Like this, there's specific rules for the Harry Potter here. Otherwise, if we come down and we get that green, red, green, I think we go long. But I think anytime here, any of these areas here for news, I think could make a difference, right? Here, or up top here, I think either of those works as far as potential areas for news tomorrow. Um, Question is, can we cover the 50 pips up, or does it just kind of meander and slowly come back down again and place us, right here for the open? That's kind of the big question with it. All right. Let's go dollar Swiss. All right, so dollar Swiss came down, and as you can see, we hit it, we bounced, we based, and we pushed through. So we're good. This 91.25, again, we had it yellow because it was kind of more of an area that we'd be interested in getting to. We were here for the news, and it did. It shot up, about 30 pips before kind of rolling back to the downside with the weak dollar. It was a decent level in the past, but it had already been breached here. That's why it was a yellow instead of a green kind of entry, because it was kind of like, yeah, we can use it, but it's not going to necessarily hold. So where we are now with the dollar Swiss, let me go up to a little bit higher of a time frame here. This one has just literally been pushing straight down. All right, so you can see right now where we are. We're kind of on this is a 2 hour. Let me see. You should be able to see it on the hourly even. This is a racetrack scenario, so we really don't have much until we get back down to this level here, down at 89.91. The question that I have with this one, though, is with the kind of the profit taking that will occur, we should see some dollar strength step back in. But is there enough weakness versus the Swiss that this will continue to drive lower? It isn't a racetrack. There's a box from here to here down that we really don't have a whole lot in the way. There is no, here's the hourly. Here's what we're dealing with. There's a little bit of buyers sitting right here at 90.60, but besides that, it's off to the races. So yeah, I mean, let's see. And again, we don't even have the entry right now, but 1 to 3 is right there. I mean, it's not even. It doesn't even need to push that far in, right? Like on a 30-minute, you're seeing we're kind of getting the basing below. I'd like get a little bit more clearance on that one, but it doesn't really need a whole lot to get lower, right? It doesn't need a lot. Um, there, it's a little bit off, but that's okay. Um, full side down on this one. It's a 7 to 1 or 1 to 7. So yeah, it's a decent push. I would say, I mean, even though I expect to see some dollar strength coming in, gotta say I like this one short. Um, I mean, 90 is a psychological number, which is sitting right there, right? That's not a bad target. Like I said, it's 70 pips away. It is a lot. It's like a day and a half worth of movement. It is getting late in the week. But gotta say, 90 is not a bad target for this one to drop down to. You know, um, I don't know that I'd hold it over the weekend, but I do think 90 could be on the radar for this one. Dollar yen. Dollar yen is just chop, chop, chop. Look at this. Chop through, touched it, based, based. Here's FOMC. Nothing really big in this one. This one has moved minus 40, right? 24 hours because we were sitting over here. Right there is where we were. We were kind of at like the peak, and it went slightly higher, but it didn't hit any of those zones. So right now the analysis is still the same. Look at this. Since midnight last night, we're in the same exact spot. Here's the European Open, right there. So we're 2 pips from the European Open. So dollar yen is just not a driver. It's kind of turned into you know it's turned into the euro pound, just sideways movement. We don't need this one anymore. This area of interest, like I said, it's based in there, it pulled in there. But now that we've had spikes that have gone through the top before the base, there's not much we can do with it now. It's better just to remove it off and then kind of keep this one. We're getting late in the week, so we'll stay with what we got for this one. All right, let's go to oil. So oil finally did break through. It was kind of holding, 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 holding. Here is the European session up until 8:30. And we'll push this down and change that to blue. And now we have entered the orange territory to there. There we go. All right. But this knockout is gone. And again, finally, after a number of hits here, we hit it and based. We can take this one off. We don't need this one. There we go. So this week has been bigger European session. The last 5 or 6 weeks, we've had the exact opposite scenario. But obviously, take the last 5 days, basically mirrored, bigger blue, more or less a mirror. We kind of had a spike out, but we closed right back inside of the same area. Blue was the bigger yesterday. Actually, I can change this down to there, but there was a mirror, and kind of the same thing today. With this approaching higher, I mean 76, 75. It's been a really kind of slow week. We've had a lot of retraces. I mean, you can see it, look, this was at least one blue up and then an orange back down again. This was a blue up and an orange back down again. This was a blue up, down, and then down, up. And we stopped at the peak. And again, up, down. And now we're kind of consolidating in. It's 10:30. So um, I'd say right now, I mean, if we can maintain here, there is a small little 30-minute level. It's okay. I wouldn't say it's the best, but there is a level that's kind of sitting right there. Maybe that helps drive us up today in oil, but gotta say, I'm not like super impressed with oil right now. I don't know. I mean, all week it's just been back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. So very, very kind of choppy market in this one. Um, hmm, I guess technically speaking, we could mark that too. I don't know. The indicator is marking this as a short, right? It's marking that as a short. So it's kind of like it's wedged in. I would say, I mean, we've tagged this bottom level. If the current candle we're in turns red and we start breaking, um, we have the sellers up top. Man, this one is really squished. I would say if we start to break down and we test this level again, I think we go short, right? Again, small level. It's been touched once. Touching it again. I think hit number three comes down, and if we do break, I think we come back down here into the 71.80 range. I think that's the next area we have really. I mean, we got a little buyers in here, but that's in the overnight. Probably 71.80. Just not a big fan of oil right now. I don't think it's not near any like major. The next major level is on the 4 hour, and it is here. Yeah, so we got a ways. We got a ways on oil here. Actually 74. Yeah, 74.90 ish area. 75. Where they have 75 at right here. Yeah, they're blocking this area right here. So indicator is taking. Yeah. So indicator is taking this to 75 as the next major 4 hour level. So we got a little bit of room to run on that one. I don't think we're moving $3 today. It's just not one of those things. But yeah, not a huge fan. Um, yeah, and we've even gone sideways bias on this one. We were in an uptrend setup, right? We were in an uptrend setup on the 30-minute when it came back down into this level, but it didn't really give us an entry. It didn't grab the level. So yeah, I would say if we start to push down again, that's what, three highs now, three highs that are lower. Look for this one to pull back a bit and go negative. Gold having a nice day, right? And if you guys remember from yesterday morning, we talked about how European session down, US up. European down, this one based, but European session, and then we had the reversal on it. European session down, and then it did. It went straight up in the air. It came down, it spiked at FOMC, grabbed more, and is continuing to push higher. I mentioned yesterday, gold and silver, I both thought were going to go up. Both of them did go up from that data. Not that we learned anything new, but I think people are they're tired of the Fed saying that it's transitory, it's going to disappear. So, this was a nice runner. Right now, it is. I mean, heck, this is up to a what? A 1 to 9 or 1 to 8? Well, almost 1 to 9, right? That knockout survived. If you guys were able to get into it, it got close. It got close. 37 cents, but now has been off to the races. At this point, I think again, because it's moved up so much in one day. I mean, it's up 1.19%. People are going to be looking at this one and saying, "Hey, listen, we can go long gold," and it should be higher. I mean, I said it. I think both were a little bit too low. They needed to kind of come up a bit higher. Are we going to 1900? I don't see anything right now that necessarily justifies that. But tomorrow morning, I think it's going to be important to watch this one because, again, the core PCE price index, if you guys don't know what that one is, that is the change in price of goods and services purchased by consumers, excluding food and energy. Because remember, so far, like, oh, all the inflation is just in energy and food. Well, I mean, this one continues to go higher. Look, you know, February from March, but it's all, the last time we've had a negative number was back here May of last year. So it's been getting, we lost point 0.4, but positive, 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 flat, flat in December, and then positive, positive, flat, positive, big positive. It technically missed, but we're still positive again, and then positive again. So it wasn't like this negative over here was like a minus 5%. It was minus 0.4. So we've really kind of pushed again. So, you know, this is excluding food and energy. That's why this one is an important number for tomorrow. So, I think we got to find some new stabilization for gold at this point. Like I said, we know we have selling coming at 1830. I was tested here and hasn't been up there again. This level that it just went through, I mean, again, we had the one touch, it hit it again and came back and started the base in there. But that was one we were looking for really for a spike up, not a grind. So we could remove this now. I should leave it on as an area of interest, but we're going to take it off. Again, let's see. Let's pull. There. There's the European Open. So right now, the U.S. session has not rolled it. Everybody's been on board about making gold more expensive. I think 1831 is definitely an area to watch out for. If we stabilize, install, and put either a red, green, red, or a, a consecutive lower low in. Actually, I guess a lower high in. That would also be an opportunity to take this one back short. And I actually don't think coming back into the 1815, 1816 range is necessarily a bad spot. I don't think that's a bad area right there. Oops. Again, it was a level that we were looking at. It was basing in there a lot, and then kind of pulled back and used that as a takeoff point. So, um, not that I think we there's any reason for us to start becoming gold shorts. And you guys know that I was a huge gold short before. I do think we will get a bit of a pullback in profit taking before the end of the weekend, particularly if that PCE data is off. Silver has been off to the races. And again, we talked about this yesterday. I mean, here's FOMC. I was like, you got to get long this one. I was hoping we get long at the 2430, but here's where it kind of kicked in, and it did. It dropped down. It's been nothing but straight up since that time. And again, first profit target would have been 2504. You can see that this came through and based there, and then in the bigger one, it based and spent a lot of time in there before punching higher. 2572 was kind of an extreme range for us up top. Not fresh, not fresh, right? It's had 1, 2 hits through. This is a previously violated zone, so it's not the ideal opportunity. And it's trying to make its best effort to go through. It's up 3% right now. It's up 80 cents. Its daily ATR is only 53, so we're at 1.5 times. So in reality, we're kind of trying to find a short here. But the problem is, once we go through this level, there's a little bit of a tick there. We don't have anything even kind of kicking in here till the 2605 range. So, you know, it's 1020. Could it reverse on this 2572? Yeah. But I feel like just with everything going on right now, I feel like this one has the ability to go higher. I'm thinking that the 2605 may not be the worst area to kind of take this up and play the reversal there. I mean, this is just one day with really no pullbacks. From FOMC is sitting right here. There's your FOMC, right? So, and again, there's your profit target. There's your basing. It used that prior level of sellers to launch itself high. It based below this next level. And again, decent. It was an okay base, but 1, 2, 3, and then 4 is what broke. It pulled back and then Harry Pottered off that level higher and then ended up basing. And again, there was a bunch of different entries in there for the silver to go higher. And now we're up at kind of another extreme range. So we're out of the green area. We're back in the blue. Let's see. Like I said, there's that little tiny level that clears there. Whoops. Right, there's a little level right there, and then we're clear until that level. Oops. There we go. I was like, I don't want that one moved. So yeah, so that's where we're at with silver. I would say wait for this to actually finally put a top in, have a confirmed top, and then look to go short. Because like I said, 3.25% is a big day. We're 1.5 times the ATR. It's not a parabolic move because again, it ground pretty well, but yeah, yeah. So we can remove these. We don't need this. This one we probably should keep on, but I'll take it off. This I'm going to leave on as a yellow. It's going to become a profit target back to the downside. 2516. Go. And like I said, I think this one will break. I don't think this one's going to hold here. If it turns here in this last little bit, I'd be surprised. But I think if anything, that the 83 to 87 is a little bit better of a turn. We're approaching 1030, but I think yeah, this one is off to the races. So gold's got a bit more to run too. Gold should suck this up a little bit higher too. There we go. We're gonna see if we're gonna punch through. So it's close, but I think they're much better turning targets. But if we break through 2587, again, it's not slowing before 26. So got some room to run. All right, indices. See the market second by second. No, I don't want second by second. I want 15 minutes. Thank you very much. All right, so FOMC got a little bit funky over here. It came into this level and again drove it down. Your profit target would have been this level. Here was the short from yesterday. Again, 930 is where that one kicked in, pushed all the way down. You can see that in reality, this one drove all the way down to there. That one ended up dinging a 1 to 6 from yesterday's open. So we can take it off. We don't need it now. Here's that equilibrium level that we have. Take these off. Actually, neither of these not. It was strange. I mean, here's FOMC, right? And pulled it back up and we went back in the same rate. We didn't have any type of move. So either of these two kind of breakout moves didn't happen. It's amazing. Really, until 9 o'clock this morning, 9:30 this morning, we stayed within that same exact range. Didn't do much. We don't need this. We did break through above. I'm running the seller, so I'd say this one is kind of more disappointing than anything else. I mean, could we have gotten long from the open? Mm, Not really in the best of zones. Um, let's see. Is that what it ran off of? Hold on, let me sec. Where is it? Yeah, it ended up going through that, thankfully. There's the number. 4416 is the number that everybody's going to be looking at. I'd say for tomorrow, this is a decent move off the open. Let's mark this. Um, eh, I think I mean, I think you got to mark it off. I mean, at this point, I'm just looking for like minor levels that we can take something off of tomorrow. I like how these wicks are kind of sitting right there. I like how that kind of that wick formation. That could be a level for the open tomorrow as well. I mean, but again, that's the 4400. So, mm, yeah. Like I said, see it coming a bit higher, right? And actually, this is delayed a little bit, so it's probably a bit. Most likely, it's a bit higher. I think looking for the trap is going to be what you do here. If you want to take something long, like if we push through, wait for this to pull back and then take it long, right? Because this is going to be a support and resistance trap right there. That will be. I thought I had one of these for it as a trap. I don't hear at least this one. Oh wait, where is it? I lost it. I had one. Where is it? I just saw it. I guess that's a cow, not a pig. I was like, here. Actually, I guess that's a cat, not a pig. I don't know. Wasn't what I thought it was going to look like. Um, there's a penguin. I should put a penguin up there. Um, where is it? Here, we'll put the trash can there. So there'll be a trap right there. A support and resistance trap as that punches through. I'd wait for it to come back up, see if we can get some stabilization, and then kind of pull through. But there's a zone sitting there, and that zone is really just formed off of this level, right? It's just literally taking it off of. I mean, this is here. I'll do it this way. That's kind of what they're doing it off of, right? So see if we can get a confirmation move through. But like I said, the first time I think it breaks through, I think it pulls back as people are like, oh, as soon as we break that high, we're going long. All right. NQ, it's kind of pulling back lower. We have a level up there we know about the 15106, 105 range. Um, we're in a racetrack, unfortunately, right now to the left. You can see we're in this area, so we really don't have anything to kind of base it off of right now. FOMC was right here. I don't need to use the dumpster fire one. I can use this one. Change that to black. There was FOMC. It did not give us an entry. Talked about it. There was the open. There's FOMC, and it didn't give it to us again. So unfortunately, we didn't get two entries. Right now, again, I would say it's looking like it's coming back. We could do the same thing. We can mark off really this level right here. And again, that would have been your opening candle, right? There's your pre-market. There's your opening candle. That's probably, I think that would have hit your 1 to 3 already. 1 to 3 is right there. So that one triggered again another opening trade. Right now, it does look like it's starting to pull back down again. I would say right now, I mean, we're at 10:30. It should try to make another push higher, right? Question is, are we going to be able to get through that top? And then again, do we wait until this the 15, 105? I think the 15 105 is probably not a bad level. Um, it was a strong push. Again, it's the top of a racetrack. We can push up today. Again, I'd like to be there at 10:30. We're not quite there yet. But that could be like a lunchtime based trade, kind of pushing us back down as they dissect a little bit more of that data. Last but not least, we'll go to the YM. All right, so yeah, good luck with this one. There's our trade from yesterday. We'll take that one out. That was the same level from yesterday. 35,000, right? 35,000. I mean, here, I'm going to put this one on, right? We're going to talk about this, right? Where is it? There, trap. There, trap. Open, we're like, yeah, baby, we're going up. And then it pulled back down again. So it's kind of one of those things. I mean, we don't really have anything to really work with right here. And you can see, I mean, if this is where the top was, you can see what they were looking to do, right? But again, it just shows you how big of a psychological number 35,000 is. It was like 1,800 in gold. Originally, when we were messing around with that 1,800, the media would mention, oh my God, we're above 1,800. We're below 1,800. We're above 1,800. 35,000 is the same thing. Um, Break 35,000, collapse. Break 35,000, collapse. Spike up, we're like, yeah, but then the seller's up here, grab this one. So right now, I mean, this is a 15-minute. I mean, the other two had, ES, you could have taken long, right? NQ was obviously the long, was the one to play today. YM, not so much. Just not a whole lot in there. So I would say honestly, now that we've hit 35,000, it's not as exciting for me because I was like, yeah, come on, 35,000, 35,000. That's a great number. You can do it. But now, right now, it's like, it's kind of stuck here. I don't see any driving factor. Seeing the data we had today, I would say, the unemployment rate, and then, obviously the advanced GDP. GDP has a heavy effect on the Dow, right? Because you're thinking, it's gross domestic product is a lot associated with, like manufacturing and things like that. Like it's an old school number, right? Um, that obviously weighs heavy on this. It's technically up 0.4%, so it is kind of rallied a bit more than the NQ. But I would say all that rallying came in. I mean, really, the Europeans stepped in here, right? I mean, most of that came in from late last night, like 10, 11 o'clock last night. Most of this rally is from here till about, I mean, really the European session, right? If I take this box and move it forward to here, you can see we've done about half. And really, here, I'll move this back down. You can see here's where all the movement is. And right now, from that area of movement, it's very, very small. So I'd say probably more negative, but right now I'd be more neutral than anything else. I think the other two indices are providing a lot more opportunity. So, yeah, not really excited about this one. Now I know all you guys. I know you guys are all into the rut now. Everybody, I think Joel has got you guys hooked on the little guys. So maybe we'll add that over here. I guess we could probably let's see. I guess we could do the front contract on that one. I guess we could start working on this one too. Problem is where we're at right now. It's kind of let's see. Let's go back up and let's do a 30-minute. Maybe we'll add this in. So right now we're dealing with this. Let's change this to black first. Black, black. Down to an hour. It's fine. What are you barking at? It's fine. That one's fine as well. All right. So let's go down to 15 minutes. Right. Probably 9:30. Yeah. 1030. Unfortunately, that one just missed a little bit today. You could have taken it from there, but kind of a kind of a reach. Probably more would have been there. Would have been on the conservative side. Um, yeah. So I would say that. I guess I should add this to the watch list. RTY1 way up. There we go. I would say right now where we are, again, this one is kind of approaching areas of sellers. We saw it, kind of a bigger range, the 2248 to 2255. It's obviously having some issues. This is delayed data as well, so I don't know what it's done, but I wouldn't be surprised that this one has a bit of a rollover as well. I don't even know. Can I even get this? I probably can get this over here too. Let me see. No, not that one. No, I can't get it over there. So, all right, that's not going to be an MT4 one. Yeah, I'd say. I mean, again, it's kind of similar. I mean, it's up the most today, 1.15. But again, this is going to be like the Russell is going to be like how silver is the gold, right? I mean, silver's up 3%, gold's up 1% right now. The Russell's up 1.1%. The ES and YM are both up 0.4. So it's going to be the faster of the mover. And again, a lot of that as well came from, I mean, really from yesterday. But here's that same 10 o'clock window last night. Most of the movement came up. European traders stepped in like here. And now you can see that, the box from when the European session started is much, much smaller. So not as much movement on that one. It's amazing how that one got taken in the European market. But I would say right now it's, if you can get a decent short on this one, and again, it seems like the open is really the best way to play these um, at this point. But doesn't look like there's much for that. So we'll start adding the Russell in there as well. We'll start doing the analysis. All right, with that said, it is 10:35. I need to go grab the girl. She is quiet. She's probably watching her tablet. Had like 12 lollipops. Remember, yesterday Ross won, so Ross will be going for his 100 pip chips today. Everybody else will be 25. Got Ernest in there. We got Will in there. Got Neuro in there. No Sean today, it looks like. And then again, we'll go ahead and call it. All right, close it down. Winner of today's drawing is. Oh, Sean got it in there last second. Sean, you got lucky on that one. You got super lucky because I know you have a delay. So, wow, he snuck it in at the skin of his teeth right there. All right, winner of today's drawing is Neuro. Mark that as complete. Look at that. How many did you buy today, Neuro? Oh, you bought two. Okay, so you bought two. You played the Ernest game today. So at least this way, right? Ernest was complaining yesterday that like, how does somebody win that has an 8.3% chance, right? At least today, Ernest can't say anything because you had a 22.22% chance. You had the highest percentage chance of winning today. So score one up for the statistics bad guy. Right? So let's go to leaderboard. Let's give Neuro his 25 pip chips. And again, think about it, guys. Neuro got into this today, right? Neuro was in. He bought two tickets. So he spent 10 pip chips. He risked 10 to make 25, right? So he had a 1 to 2.5 risk to reward ratio there, right? I need one more magic rock for my oversized glove, and then I can start rebalancing the. Exactly, Neuro. Ernest, no doubt, man. I know that Ernest is never speechless. But Neuro, that's awesome. I need one more rock for my oversized glove. It's so good. All right, guys. So with that said, yeah, I can't see the rest of these right now. That one's looking starting to pull back. There's a couple decent trades in here. I think tomorrow morning. I think again these numbers. I think it's a shame that this didn't come in positive because a lot of the dollar weakness would have been completely hammered back. I bet you this would have been almost near flat. This probably slowed down the reversal. So we could have had a great day for it. But again, tomorrow morning, watch this GDP and the PCE tomorrow morning at 8:30. I think both will be good. And no reason to waste my chips. Will's like, I got 6 months to go. So, all right, that's it. I'm out of here, guys. It's 10:30 again. I'll catch you tomorrow morning. Remember, Nadex at 8:45. YouTube, follow Nadex. Go ahead and give them a follow. And we'll go from there. You guys take care. Have a good day. Thank you so much.